Hello everyone, Jesse Webb, TradersPro. Market conditions still waffling right here, still pretty uncertain, and our overall condition is still mildly bearish. May have been mildly bullish yesterday, but it's just moving back and forth. It's just stuck kind of right here in the middle. All of the technicals are supporting that mildly bearish in a bear market stance, and that's what that is right here. Those of you that are new and joining us, welcome. This is the way that this works in terms of a top-down momentum approach. Is we want to look at this overall long-term perspective of the market first, and then have that be our initial bias. So in this case, we're in this downtrend. We have been since May of 22 of last year was that initial signal that we got to the downturn. We really bottomed out here in October, and now we've kind of just been stabilizing and kind of working our way back up again. This line right here is our indicator for bull market and bear market. It just essentially means what's the overall major trend of the market. And in this case, we're still down, but we are working our way back up. We've just kind of been stabilizing and bottoming and chopping around right here. It's been a tougher market to trade, as it hasn't really been a trending market really for the last year. It's been this sideways, up and down, volatile, choppy market. And for trend and momentum type trades, that certainly adds a little bit more difficulty. So in this case, mildly bearish means that investors consider trading bearish, raising stops on winners and selling losers. It just simply means don't be overly aggressive at these levels. That being said, in the short term, let's take a look at some of the overall indicators. Momentum, again, stuck right here in the middle. Breadth has been working its way back and forth between this extreme range and downtrending. This extreme range, you can see where it can possibly go in terms of the overall breadth to the downside, but we're definitely on that low end of the scale. We've got a lot of stocks that are trending lower. That's not conducive to strong bullish moves higher really on any stock. So any stock that you're looking at may struggle a little bit right here, or have this choppy sideways momentum until we get just a real good clear trend, whether that's up or down. That just has not presented itself quite yet. The buy-sell ratio, this is one that is slightly bullish because we have been at this oversold level. When we have this line here and we're in this red area up here just like this, that's the bears winning. That's the sell momentum has control of the current market, stocks to the downside. That's a trend that we don't want to fight, and we also want to be aware that should be our overall bias in terms of what we should anticipate. Now, at the edges, at the extremes, is when that starts to reverse, at these real top areas. So as we're moving, you can see now, more than likely the trend here is, and it happens pretty typically, something like this, where you get this type of a pattern lower. So we could see some bottoming, a decent rally, maybe with some backfill, as we work our way back towards this equilibrium location, then possibly a reversal. So something like this right here. So be aware that as that pattern unfolds, we may see some support right here, as markets could certainly, this can extend out a little bit more, maybe go back up if we have another down day or two. But as this indicator is working its way back to this kind of a pattern, the next move looks like it could be bears down, bulls up, working its way back closer together here. So something to be aware of as you're doing your analysis and looking at the overall bias. What direction should I be focusing on? And that's the value of these indicators. One of the other things I wanted to point out, I've pointed this out the last few sessions, and that is the Dow stocks, but you can also do that with any of these other indices. You can look to see here, S&P 500 stocks, 45 stocks in that group. Well, which ones are those? And so you can go through that list and see the leading stocks in the S&P 500. Those are going to be the ones that on any kind of pullback, you're looking to add into those positions, and being aware of those overall positions as you're doing your analysis. There's no point in buying weak stocks or stocks that are trending lower. You want to be focused on this upper positive range. That is if you need to own stocks in a bear market. That's also the entire point of what we're focusing on, is you may not necessarily even want to own stocks, but if you do in a bear market, there are going to be stocks that are working. Stocks, in this case, Pulte Homes working, General Mills, First Solar has had a nice move. In fact, that's the first stock in the new buy list today that we'll take a look at. General Mills, I mentioned that, Hershey Foods, Nvidia, these have been really strong stocks. Nvidia has had a really good solid run here, even year to date it's up 86%. So it's had a very strong move. That's another way to be able to look for groups of individual stocks that you may want to focus on. And this top group, this top 20-30 stocks in the S&P 500 that are currently in uptrends, those are fantastic stocks, fantastic companies. A good place to start if you were looking for stocks to be able to focus on. Also works for really all of these indices, utilities index. But one thing you can see is a lot of stocks still in this overall sell trend, a lot of stocks in this downtrend, and that's the overall bias currently. The new buy list, we do have First Solar, which I just mentioned, and a few other electronic consumer type names, CRUS. Let me just refresh this just to make sure we've got all of the current ones coming in here, and we'll just run through those. Okay, actually, yeah. So PI. So you can see this, this choppiness moving sideways. That's really what a lot of stocks have been looking like. ELF's a consumer stock. We've talked about this one before. Potential breakout on that one as it's approaching that upper range. AAON. Construction stock, again, a possible breakout. It's running into some resistance there. SJT, really volatile. It's been a royalty trust. Over the last few years, though, it's been historically volatile, and a lot of ups and downs on some of those royalty trust stocks. So keep an eye on those. If you don't have full access to the software, you can sign up with the link below, and we look forward to having you. Have a great day today.